Hello, Bingo fans, and welcome to yet another Super Mario Odyssey triple bingo match. I am Awesome Agron.
And I'm Kai.
Alright, so today we have Aaron the Winner versus CheeseJay. I think this matchup is going to be very interesting. Aaron the Winner
Yeah,
is just very experienced with bingo as a whole, but CheeseJay is known for just being generally good at the game. Also
y-
generally good at just not taking damage. What a guy.
yeah. I commentated his last round, and yeah, he showed us some pretty good moves. He managed to show off quite a lot and still win. Like he had a lot of nice tricks up his sleeve.
Absolutely. So the runners are off, so let's take a look at this card.
All right.
So I think the first thing of note is the middle square, 6 moons from moon shards. It's not terrible. It is going to require a cat backtrack if they want to do any kind of early finish, which kind of stinks. It also locks them into lost if they decide to use the center square. Let's take a look at the rest of the
Yeah.
board. I see 6 GPs from Seaside. That's not great. 1 checkpoint snow could be okay. It's at least a fast snow visit, so it could be usable. 2 moons from Goombas is a very interesting goal, because it's usually snow or seaside. However, if you do sand piece, it makes it a wooded finish goal. So, that's definitely pretty intriguing,
Yeah.
potentially.
Pretty
We got
interesting
30
board.
sand. Got 2 moons from Hint Art, which I absolutely hate. I do not like that goal. Requires 2 revisits, and it's just generally not a fast goal, even if you have revisits that sync up well with it. I also see an 8 moons cap, which could be good. Yeah, that could be very good, because that will work well with their 6 moons from moon shards. They can find a way to finish early. So,
Yeah.
there's definitely
Yeah.
options here.
Pretty interesting board.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very hectic board, because there's not a lot of late game goals, but there's also a lot of very slow and tedious goals. However, you can make this 2 moons from Goombas work out for you if you decide to do World Peace Sand, which I could potentially recommend here, because we do see a 30 and a 28 Sand. I would not be surprised if we see the
Yeah.
runners do those in, you know, as together as a whole. Let's see. English is hard. What else? What else? Also with the 2 moons from Hint Arts, we also have look at 2 Hint Arts, which technically is synergy. I wouldn't call it very good synergy, but it is synergy. So there is that. I think another red flag with potential early finishes on this card is a 225 total regionals,
Yeah. Okay.
which is a lot of regionals. And there aren't too
Yeah.
many regionals to really back this up on this card. You have the 45 Cascade, the 30 Sand, and that's about it. There's really not much else you can do with regionals to really back up this 225, so it might just be worth avoiding altogether. However, if they want to early finish, that might not be an option. They might just have to suck it up and just do it. So I'm definitely interested to see what the runners are going to do. There's also some day metro potential. This board is very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, day metro as a whole definitely has potential here. BLTR as a line would be really good, but 6 checkpoints metro definitely complicates things. You can do 6 checkpoints metro by night. However, you would have to do the showdown from the inverted pyramid to unlock the painting and night sand, and then take the night sand painting to morning metro to get that checkpoint early. So, definitely not ideal, but I don't think it's awful. Like, there's definitely merit to do that. So, now that I've discussed pretty much most available options on this card, let's take a look at what the runners are doing. I haven't really been paying attention to the runners, I've just been dissecting the bingo board.
Been doing some pretty fast work here. Both of them kind of at the same pace.
Absolutely. It looks like CheeseJay has already collected some regionals, so potentially eyeing that 45 Cascade, or maybe already planning to do 225, which I think are both reasonable options here.
It is a lot, but if they get it, that could be a good.
Again, that 6 checkpoints Metro is a little concerning, because it means it's like a pseudo early finish, because you still have to technically go into Night Metro, get all the checkpoints, plus have the revisits, so it's a little... It's definitely a little bit specific. But,
Yeah.
Ooh, Aaron taking small bonk there. I don't think that spin throw was intended.
Bonk.
But definitely has a small lead over CheeseJay, but I don't think he's collected any regionals yet, so that would be why. I mean,
He might not go for any of them.
No, he's definitely going for them. So...
Oh, there it goes.
What I'm curious about is if they're going to have the 45 in their route or not, because the way I see this is, if they're doing the early finish, they're probably going to end in, loss. So it would be, like, a 1 moon loss finish with the 6 moons from moon shards.
Yeah, possibly.
This is a very hefty early finish, though, because you have 28 sand, 24 wooded, 8 moons cap, and world peace sand. So, I'm looking at this, and it doesn't even seem like the best route on the card. It's a route that you could do, but I don't think it's even close to the...
Ooh, CheeseJay taking a death.
That death is kinda bad, because that's gonna put him at the
put him
start of the kingdom
behind.
if he didn't collect any checkpoints. Yep, there it
Oh,
is.
yep.
That's
Gotta go
brutal.
all the way back.
Especially since CheeseJay already collected the regionals in this part of the kingdom, that is devastating. So there is nothing that he can do besides just go back to where he initially was.
Another bonk.
Meanwhile, Aaron just collecting Cascade Moons and regionals, so I think we're gonna see row 4 from Aaron. Seems pretty likely. And if not row 4, it will be that early finish.
Because he could get the purple coins from Cascade, and that would add up to total original coins at the same time, so kind of getting 2 things here at once, but just one finishing earlier than the other.
Right, right.
And being able to know the location for all the purple coins is also very, very crucial. You don't want to waste time having to go and find purple coins that you don't know the location of.
Absolutely. Regional knowledge is a must in Bingo.
You're always going to see at least one of these regional coins pop up on your bingo board.
And, you know, even if you don't, it's still good to know them for, like, costume sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's also important as well. Purple coins usually being the best way to get those full costume sets.
Well, you can definitely buy a few of them with your normal yellow coins. However, in order to do, like, something like 8 costume sets, you would definitely need some yellow coins.
Yeah, and it also, like you said, adds up to regional coin count at the same time.
Aaron did not collect 45 regionals. He has 43, so he must not be going for that line. Meanwhile, CheeseJay collected 45, but did not get 12 moons. And they're leaving at about the same time. It could be because of that death that CheeseJay had. That was definitely devastating.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like Aaron has a good lead already, just based off of that.
Yeah. I mean, he did the longer thing and somehow managed to say moving to the next kingdom along with CheeseJay at the same time.
However, that also means that Aaron's going for this ridiculous early finish. I just don't think it's worth. Like, there's some synergy here, but I don't think I could justify all the heavy moon goals,
Yeah.
world peace sand,
It's
225
quite the risk.
regionals. If CheeseJay finds a... What? Wait, CheeseJay is going back to cap already?
Yeah, he
Back to
says that
Cascade.
he forgot to get 12 Cascade Moons.
Or
Another major setback.
wait, did he wait, what did he forget?
Yeah, look on the bingo sync. So he's gonna have to backtrack already.
Oh no.
It's really going to put him far behind. As Aaron...
How many moons did he collect in the first visit?
I think it was only... What was it he collected? Like, I don't think that many.
Okay, in a way, this isn't super devastating because there are fast moons that do unlock here after you visit ones, like the shop and the shiny rock. I'm just trying to put a silver lining to things. Is he going for DSS? No. Jeez.
I would have probably, if I knew that I forgot 12 Cascade Moons, probably would have gone back later.
I mean, obviously it's not ideal.
Especially going for, like, if you were going for a shiny rock.
Look, it's definitely not great. I feel like at this point it might just be better to just pick a different line, but it's possible Cheese doesn't have, you know, that comfort value in switching lines like that.
Oh, he didn't do the clip.
So, he got chest clip, but he didn't quite clip up. Or, he clipped up, but he, like, missed the dive or something. I didn't exactly see what happened.
Struggling to get up.
Getting out of the water. Oh, this is just a horrible start.
He got up, at least.
Absolutely. Yeah, wow. So this definitely extends Aaron's already pretty massive lead. Yeah.
Back on Aaron's side, he is pushing through, collecting a lot of moons in a fast amount of time.
Yeah, so here's the thing with Aaron's route. It's going to finish very early in loss, but he has so much to do. If this is the route that he's going for, it's possible
be a lot of work.
Amos could still pull ahead. Because I really do not like this early finish. Like 225 with all of these big moon goals and world peace sand required. That's not great.
Yeah, too many big things.
I personally believe the 225 kills this early finish.
Yeah, because that is a lot of purple coins. And
Because,
considering if he wants to go and finish in loss, he's going to have to collect most of these purple coins.
Right, because I'm gonna be honest, if it was without the 225, I think this would be worth going for. But as soon as you throw the 225 in there on top of all of the big moon goals and having to world peace sand, it just falls apart. It's way too many moons. Ooh, that's a interesting bonk from Aaron. That's definitely gonna cost some time. Now CheeseJay is going to cap. Has barely touched Sand Kingdom. Literally set foot and then left. So
might be going towards the 8 moons in cap.
Absolutely. It's also possible CheeseJay just plans to any % sand, so once he does get to sand, we can just see him blitz through it and pass Aaron. But that also does mean CheeseJay is going to Metro. At least.
Yeah.
So, because I doubt he knows about, you know, 6 checkpoints being doable by Night Metro, so we will see CheeseJay be fighting Wiggler to complete row 4.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, even if he does know, I don't even think that's the play, to be honest. It might just be worth it to just fight Wiggler. Because Showdown's pretty slow. There's no reason to really do it here. Unless if you're doing the 2 runes from Goombas, of course. That's like the one exception. So, It's actually possible Aaron is also going for, like, BLTR instead of one of the lines that I previously mentioned, which would allow him to avoid the 225. But that also means he would have to finish the loft and, you know, do that painting thing so he can finish a Night Metro. So, I don't know, man. I feel like I just don't think the early finish was the play here. I think some variant of Day Metro is going to be better off on this card. Like, something like TLBR. Wait, TLBR. Okay. Okay, both diagonals. Both diagonals. And... trying to think of a third line that works well here. Yeah, both...
James going a bit slowly with this.
Wait, do you really just still do World Peace Sam? Okay. Yeah, that's probably the play. I think the best route here is just both diagonals and C3. You still do World Peace Sam, but like literally the rest of the goals are like almost nothing. I mean, World Peace Wooded is also a little bit time consuming, but if that's all you're doing in Wooded, like, whatever. It's like an 8 or 9 minute Wooded. Because you're probably also going to do the Shards Rocket for the Moon Shards. And, like, that's the thing, 6 Moon Shards works well with the sub-areas from Metro, so... it's definitely possible that both diagonals and C3 just is a better play in general. I think that's for sure what I would have done on this card, but... you know.
Well, I'm gonna have to question the route CheeseJay's taking in Cap Kingdom, looking pretty slow.
Yeah.
He's gonna want to catch up, he's gonna have to speed it up a bit.
I understand the mistake, but I feel like at that point, if you forgot the 12 moons, it might not have been worth coming back.
No. Getting a life up part, though. Might be considering getting another route with the 6 unique life up parts.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely potentially looking at TLBR as a possible line for Cheese. Yeah, I just do not feel good about Aaron's early finish. I just don't. I think it's a good route for him, but I think in general, when it comes to, like, good lines on this card, that just isn't it. The 225 just kills it. Like, I legitimately think going to Metro is worth avoiding diagonals and Cap.
Yeah. But if he thinks he can do it, then I'm interested to see how he goes.
I mean, as much as the Moon Shards help by doing Cap, I just don't see it with all the big Moon goals and the 225. There's just no way that's a good route. But, at the end of the day, you know, the runners get significantly less time to, you know, look and, you know, play.
Yeah, that is true.
Right over here. So, you know, I could have just thought about this because I had the time to think about it. It's possible.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought about it.
That is.
So that's
because they've got to play. They've got to play and look at the same time.
Absolutely.
And if there's one thing about me, it's that multitasking is not something I can do at all.
Yeah. So ideally, when it comes to bingo, you want to have your route by the time you beat Madame Rude. Ideally. Sometimes it's better to have it slightly before because small things like Life of Hearts or Cascade Regionals, but for the most part, if you have your route by the time you beat Madame Brood and that cutscene ends with Cappy talking in front of you at the Odyssey, then you're probably in good shape. I've had cards in the past where I was still able to formulate a route while in sand, though, but I don't recommend that. It's pretty risky. So... at the end of the yeah, remember, Aaron has to do World Peace for the Goomba Moon.
Pretty fast, just already have 19 moons, and about to get a multi-moon here.
I suppose that's also another play Aaron could have done. Could have just avoided doing World Peace and did, row 3 BLTR and C5. but I don't think that's the play either. I think no matter how you look at this, the early finish just isn't good. It's just too much.
These James still in cap though.
Oh, by the way, if anyone in chat has any questions about what's going on, I'll be happy to answer them.
And also put your predictions in for what you think the players are going for.
Yeah, exactly. You know, chat, which team are you on? Are you on Team Aaron the Winner or Team CheeseJay? Would like to hear that input as well.
Yeah.
Since we're
Sure.
now about 20 minutes into the race, which is about, you know, maybe a little over a third of a triple bingo match, usually.
Yeah.
A little over a third. Team Kai, I apologize, but you cannot be on a commentator's team. Kai is not playing the game.
Yeah.
Kai is not playing the game. That is not an option here.
Unfortunately, no, it's not.
CheeseJay all the way. Alright, alright.
Yeah, Mass, why don't you choose one of the players instead? I'm sorry, you can't go for Team Kai. Maybe next time.
Deciding to do 8 cap as early as he did is still very mind-boggling to me. Like, I get that he forgot the 12 Moons Cascade, which probably screwed up his original plan, but, like, my goodness, why would you revisit cap that early?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, he's finally stepped foot in the sand, Cheese James.
It's done and over with, and if Cheese doesn't have anything serious to do in sand, he could technically lead before Aaron, which would be kind of huge.
Yeah, being able to catch... Oh, yep. It's going to be doing the trick to get the seed to grow.
Yep. Manual DSTA. They could have set this up before the race, but, I mean, considering how late CheeseJay is in sand...
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked anyway, so it's fine. Also, with Bingo, it's kind of unpredictable. My general consensus is 151 is the time to go with, because if you have some stuff to do in Cascade, generally you can complete it and then still get to sand before the DSTA.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you do is just grab the seed and throw it in the pot. But sometimes that doesn't even work, so... at the end of the day, DSTA, kind of unpredictable in Bingo. Not exactly necessary either. Sometimes it just isn't fast because you just have too many moons to collect in sand.
Yeah.
And by too many moons, I mean, like, you already have, like, X amount of moons in your route already, because you might have, like, 6 moons for sub-areas, or, like, moon shards in the sand, like, you know, and, you know, you don't have to collect any extra moons in sand at that point, so it's like, well... At that point, is it really worth? Probably not.
Nah.
Forgetting stuff just stresses you out. One thing goes wrong and you panic. Yeah, so that's definitely something you have to keep in mind, too. Like, you know, these runners, you know,
Aaron the Winner.
Have a plan,
Done.
and if something doesn't go by the plan, things can get really out of hand really fast if they are not, you know, careful with their, both their mindset and their gameplay. Like,
Yeah, for sure. It's very crucial.
something that I feel is really important, skill-wise, as a bingo player, is the ability to adapt.
Yeah, you really have to adapt to just anything.
Because sometimes things don't work out, or sometimes, like Joy-Con says, you forget something. And you have to know how to back it up, for one, and for two, how to, you know, not let the panic set in and still be able to play relative to, you know, what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of things you have to take in when doing bingo. And like I saw with the last match I commentated, it came down to the absolute last minute where the other player would have won if they didn't have to backtrack and collect 3 extra purple coins from Lake.
and sometimes it gets to the point where if you forget something so early and it's so crucial, sometimes you're just better off just changing routes very early on. which I feel is something CheeseJay should have considered.
Yeah, because it's much better to change route early than it is to be like 30 minutes in and go, hang on, I want to change route now.
So, Aaron left sand. It's possible they're going back to sand through the painting via the 2 moons from Hint Art. Very cheeky. Because
And
we pretty much...
just as I anticipated, straight to deep.
Yeah, so we've pretty much already confirmed that Aaron's doing some form of an early finish. Again, I don't really agree with this decision. It's just way too much on this board. Like, even if you're just considering the 2 moons from Hint Art, like, I guess Aaron's plan is to do C3, C4, and... Wait, no, he can't do C4. He doesn't have the regionals in Cascade. Wait. What? Aaron. Okay, now I'm just confused. Did he not realize he didn't collect enough regionals? I mean, he never marked it. So, but I don't see... I mean, I guess he's planning to come back because of the 2 moons from Art. So, I guess that's the only thing that I can expect. That he's just going to collect his last 2 regionals that he needs in Cascade to mark the 45 when he does the revisit for the Hint Art. That's the only thing that I can come up with at this point, because
Other than that, you can't... Not really anything else.
Okay.
Could.
Okay, so yeah, like, I mean, if there's one thing that I know about Aaron's gameplay style when it comes to Bingo, he's a very technical runner. He puts routing at the absolute forefront. So, his routing is usually very spot on and very calculated. Especially when it comes to, like, revisits and painting chains and stuff. Sometimes it's even more 5-head than my routing. Which is saying a lot, because I already consider myself to be a pretty 5-head player when it comes to routing. So, if that's true, and Aaron is doing the, C3, C4, and row 3, that cuts out the 8 moons cap, but he still needs to go back to cap for moon shards anyway. And he still needs to do heavy sand and wooded. Again, I still don't think I agree with this route choice. Like, just anything early finish on this card is just ugly.
Yeah.
However, I do think if Aaron is doing the 2 moons from Hint Art, which he absolutely is at this point, he's at least picking the correct lines to do it with. Because avoiding the 225 will make his life significantly easier. And that's why we're not seeing Aaron collect literally any regionals avoided. Like, he's bypassing all of them. So, that pretty much confirms that Aaron is definitely going for C3, C4, row 3.
Which is definitely better.
I'm a little bit confused. I think he's doing TLBR row 4 C5, but I have yet to confirm that.
Alright. And he does it.
And if that's true that CheeseJay is going all the way to Day Metro, I have a feeling Aaron has already won.
Yeah, it's just...
There's just too much ground for Cheese to cover at this point.
Yeah, especially since he had to backtrack a lot.
I mean, he was gonna have to backtrack anyway, but in this particular way, the backtrack was even worse than it was going to be.
Yeah.
Initially. So... Not sure, honestly, just not sure. Unfortunately, I don't think there were any routes where 1 checkpoint snow finishes were the play.
No, not at all.
There's just too many bad goals around the 1 checkpoint snow. So.
And snow, in my opinion, is just a bit too far forward into
Well,
the
again,
kingdoms.
you go to snow, but you're just getting one checkpoint. So if all the other goals in your route are really easy, then that almost feels like a no-brainer for me to do as a potential finish. But this board just doesn't allow that. There's too much going on.
It's an interesting board.
I mean, there is good sand synergy, and theoretically, 30 Moon Sand can be done, you know, sub 11 if that's all you're doing, just collecting the moons. Like, if you're really good at 30 Moon Sand, you could have potentially saw like a row 1 C2 TLBR board, maybe. I mean, I still hate it, but it could definitely be the play. It could definitely be the play for someone like, you know, Stravos. So Stravos' strategy when he played Bingo was to just do everything early game and then just blitz the latter half with just any percent. So I could see that being the strategy for him on this card with the one checkpoint finish. I mean, it's obviously still not great, but, like, I could definitely see him do it. Like, honestly, watching Stravos play Bingo is incredibly entertaining, because you'll see him, you know, enter Wooded, like, 30 minutes into the card, and all of a sudden he's at Snow or Seaside, like, 25 minutes later, and you're like, wait, what the happened? But anyways, enough about any percent runners blitzing the rest of the board once they finish all their major stuff in the earlier kingdoms. He's is going back to sand? Wait, what? He forgot Jackson's sands?
Oh.
Huh. Alrighty then. So... yeah, forgetting one more thing basically seals Cheese's fate.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's looking pretty grim for Team CheeseJay.
And you really gotta think, have I collected and done everything I want in this kingdom right now? Because if you realise, crap, I have to go back, that can be quite the setback, depending on how much time that's going to take.
Yes, so, the match long ago, like, I think it was like 2 tournaments ago or something, Razor versus Stravos is the match that I was, referencing. Stravos was, like, exiting Wooded, like, 40 minutes in, and then he just blitzed the rest of the card. 20%, it was so funny.
And then there's the 30 regional coins in sand.
Yeah, so, CheeseJay, just forgetting stuff all over the place, is not only very sloppy, but it's just gonna cost him way too much time. Because, again, for every revisit that you do, it's 40 seconds per Odyssey transition.
Yeah.
And that's not including the stuff you do on the revisit, and that's 40 seconds for one way. He still has to go back, which is another 40 seconds. So that just adds up significantly.
Yeah. No, well, it doesn't seem like much. It does end up being a lot later on, because it all just adds up. And it keeps adding up.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a massive amount of time lost, especially with the amount of revisiting CheeseJay has already done. Meanwhile, Aaron just collected his Goomba Moon, and will be finishing his 30 Moon Sand, and will then go back to Wooded with the Wooded art in his arsenal. But Aaron still has a Lake and Cap to do before he can finish. And he still needs to finish Wooded.
But with the massive time gap, I think he's pretty ahead of himself. I reckon he will most likely be able to do it way before CheeseJay.
Right, absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind that Aaron will definitely be the winner of this match.
Yeah.
However, I do not agree with his route choice. Like at all. It's way
And
too
coming
much.
into this, he's already a pretty good player, already had a high chance of winning with his experience and just how good he is at bingo.
Right, yeah, like I said. Aaron just has a very technical routing playstyle. And that's like the main thing that he focuses on as a bingo player. So while his movement isn't up to par with the rest of the top bingo players, his routing definitely makes up for a good part of it.
And on top of that, he's very, very fast and speedy with all this.
Yeah, so, yeah, like I've mentioned before, Aaron definitely knows what he's doing.
For sure.
So... Oh, wow, that's actually really, really good. Okay, so
That was clever.
No, yeah, he used the time remaining on the timer challenge to call the
And
Jaxi sand.
wow, look
I
at all
think,
those boxes he just ticked off. Like,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
like I said, sand was very heavy, but he was able to complete it in a relative time. I still don't agree with his route choice.
Nah.
Wait, so he still needs to revisit Cascade as well, because of the hint art. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
just... It's too much for an early finish.
And oh, look at that. Next thing you know, he's in Wooded doing the Goomba Moon.
Yeah, I definitely still believe the two diagonals and C3 was the best strat on this card.
Meanwhile, CheeseJay seems to be collecting regional coins for Wooded.
Right. Now, there is not a regional coin goal in Wooded, but we've already confirmed that CheeseJay does have the 225 in his route. So, there's more than enough reason to collect a lot of Wooded regionals. Wooded regionals are generally really quick. Most of them are within the way of your path that you go throughout the kingdom, especially in the bottom by the pipeway sub-area.
Yeah. And for those who went off and stopped watching for like 5 minutes, they're probably like, wait, why does Aaron have so many boxes now? Like, he just had them all ready to go and then just, boom, just like that.
Right.
Take a load of them off.
Yeah, at the end of the day...
And then here's the 24th moon coming up right now.
At the end of the day, the sport is just very sand-heavy, and trying to avoid it definitely makes your life more difficult. And while I agree with the synergy on Aaron's route, it's all still just ridiculously slow.
Very.
So, at the end of the day, I don't agree with his route choice, but hey, that's what different playstyles are for, and that's also what makes Bingo incredibly interesting to not only play, but also watch.
Yeah, I mean, I have lots of fun commentating and watching this.
Right, absolutely. CheeseJay runs a lot of the categories in this game. Pretty much all of them, as he is on.
Yeah, if I were to try and verse one of these people, I'd be absolutely screwed.
So, while CheeseJay does have the knowledge, he doesn't quite know how to apply it to Bingo. And while being an all-moons runner gives you a pretty big advantage as a Bingo player, without the utilization of how to apply it, it basically doesn't do you any good.
No. Although with enough practice, he could become really good with all this.
And we've already seen an example of that with Jisty, another really good all-moons runner. He just doesn't exactly know how to apply it all yet. So, again, at the end of the day, Bingo is just a lot of routing, a lot of on-the-fly execution, and you just have to have a really good grip on not only what you're doing, but just a good grip on the game mechanics as a whole, because, again, adaptability is a very key Bingo skill.
Aaron flying past, getting the shards.
Right. So, all Aaron needs to do now is his revisits after he completes Lake, and then he needs to do Cloud, and then he's going to get that 1 moon in loss. Along with 15 regionals, but he will definitely collect the 15 regionals by the time he gets to the Moon Shard area.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned before, this is definitely Aaron's game to win, but,
There's
again,
always a fighting chance, but
this
with
route, man,
yeah, it just looks like
it's too
Aaron's
narrow.
got this.
So, you know, going back to the players, I am a little bit biased because I do play with Aaron a lot. So, I just know his gameplay a bit more. However,
Alright.
at the same time, you know, I already knew that he would pick one of the early finish lines, but it still just bothers me.
Just not.
I
yeah.
just don't think it was the play on this card.
No.
And I'm very curious if, when we do the post-game interview, if Aaron's going to agree with his route choice or not. Because there's always, you know, that potential that, you know, Aaron looked at the card, saw the early finish, and was like, I'm gonna do that. That doesn't seem that slow. Did it, and was like, wow, that was really slow. I should have picked something better.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely always that possibility, and I'm very interested to see his perspective on that when we do a post-game interview.
Yeah. Sure. As he goes, will be second hint start here.
But yeah, Aaron is
Gonna go back to
comfortably
Cascade.
in the lead. Just needs to do a quick Cascade visit for the hint art, then a somewhat fast cap visit. Does need to go into 2 sub-areas for the Shards Moons, but neither are incredibly slow, so I'd say it's probably about 3 minutes before he gets to go to Cloud. So he's definitely looking at like a 48 here. A 48 is definitely realistic for him.
It's also a pretty good time as well.
Absolutely, a 48 is nothing to scoff at. Anything sub 50, I would say, is a pretty good bingo time. Of course, being card dependent, some cards definitely have the potential to go further beyond, you know, like a sub 40 or even like a sub 35, but those are really rare. Just, you know, it all just depends on the card. I definitely think this card had 1 or 2 routes that could have sub 45'd. Aaron's was probably one of them. I just don't like it. It's so...
Nah. Way too much to just do.
I mean, he's playing it really well. It's
That is
just
true.
It's just not a route I would have done.
Let's say you had the seed. What would you have gone for, like with your ring?
Right, so I already mentioned this. I think the best route on the card would be both of the diagonals in C3, but that was with a lot of thought. It's possible I also would have went for an early finish.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would have done the same lines as Aaron. I probably would have done BLTR instead of C4, as I still avoid the 225, but I also would have went to Night Metro, so at the end of the day, you know, who knows? It's honestly a toss-up. I think this board's just really complicated, but also really enjoyable to, like, spectate, watch,
Yeah.
speculate about. There were just so many options here. Some might say this was an excellent tourney board. It definitely showcases a lot of interesting routing potential that you can do here. Like, there's the crazy early finishes, there's the safer late game finishes, there's also pretty mid day metro finishes, you know, I mean, this board just has it all, right?
Yeah. A lot of different things you could have done here.
Absolutely.
And I like those kind of boards because then there's the what if I did this instead?
Yeah,
And all the different things
exactly.
that could have happened. And so you're likely to see the two contestants doing different things rather than, watching them do the exact same things.
So, going back to CheeseJay for a sec, he actually marked off World Peace Wooded, which I didn't initially expect to be in his route. So,
Yeah.
is he doing BLTR row 4? Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. He already did 8 cap. Why did he do World Peace Wooded?
Hmm.
Maybe...
Is he going for
Still doesn't make
column
sense.
1? Nah, he couldn't be.
No. There's definitely some confusion with the lines. One of these goals has to be a red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what CheeseJay's route was supposed to be now.
Oh. It's got more confusing.
Yeah, Chinese is the fastest language to play SMO.
Yeah.
Specifically simplified Chinese. But, yeah. That doesn't make too big of a difference. CheeseJay is playing with normal Chinese, not simplified, but that won't make a huge difference.
They're definitely crucial with certain speedruns are always coming down to the absolute last seconds, such as any percent.
Okay, okay, I just learned something new.
Yeah?
How did CheeseJay not get kleptoed in that situation? I guess the trigger is
What?
not on that pull.
I don't
So,
know the others.
so I guess the klepto trigger is much lower on that particular area of Lost Kingdom versus that propeller. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Traditional Chinese is almost the same. It's ever so slightly slower, and we only think it's only slower in the first half of the game. It's only been tested for any percent, by the way. We actually don't know exactly if it would be the best language in like a variety category like Bingo. I'm not really even sure how you would even test that.
I guess just way too much of playing the game.
Oh, I didn't even notice, but Aaron got kleptoed.
Yeah. He got bonked and then fell on the platform rather than dying.
Right. Wait, Aaron
Oh,
went
and
to
then
cap,
Cheese
right?
James just got bonked.
Wait, I have not been paying attention to Aaron's screen. He went to cap, right?
Yeah, he went to cap.
I don't remember him going to cap. I legit did
No,
not
he
see
got the
cap
moon
at all.
shards.
I just wasn't paying attention. So,
And
yeah,
then
Aaron will be finishing up here in a sec.
yeah.
Even using the Tropical Wiggler to collect the shards. I guess that's a W.
Yeah.
So, GG to
Definitely.
Aaron, the winner.
Good job, Aaron.
Well played.
Very good
Again,
match.
not the route I would have went for, but you know what?
It
At the end of
worked.
the day, he finished.
And he
Relatively
won.
fast.
He
So
came
GG
out on
to
top.
Aaron, the winner.
So Aaron, the winner, is still the winner here.
Absolutely.
You reckon if he loses, he just, for a short amount of time, he just changes his name to Aaron the Loser?
I don't think that's how that works.
No, because it's always the winning part. I mean, winner's in his name.
Right, right.
And Cheese James still had a lot to do. So no, CheeseJay still would have taken a long time to complete his things.
Okay. Hello. Is this Aaron
Hello.
the winner?
Hello.
It is.
You did indeed win.
Yes,
Yes.
I
So
did.
I actually have a few questions for you about this card.
All right, fair
Hello.
enough.
Um. Hey. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So.
Hi.
Yeah. So. I mean, yeah. So I obviously have questions for Aaron, but I also have questions for CheeseJay as well. So. So obviously that didn't exactly go as planned for you, Cheese, did it?
Oh no, I just played terrible. Like the entire way through, garbage.
Understandable.
Oh well, it happens.
I had to make like
sometimes.
I had to make 4 revisits before leaving Wooded or something. Garbage.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that
I
was a
mean,
bit
I
rough.
had 3, but they were all planned.
Absolutely. So,
Planning.
what was your intended route, Cheese?
It was column 1, row 3, and row 4.
Row
Wait,
3?
row 3.
Are you
Yeah.
sure it wasn't row 2?
Or row 4. My bad, row 4.
So it was C1, row 2, row 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was ending in Seaside, which is awful. I didn't see that I could end
You're
sooner.
going all the way to Seaside, and you're getting 8 moons cap and 225. I'm not gonna say that it was the best route choice whatsoever.
No, it was probably the worst one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there. You know, I mean,
Up
like,
there,
if
I would
you
say
want me to
it's-
be completely honest about it, it was definitely up there as one of the worst routes that you could have picked.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing this race. I was very much not prepared.
Right, right.
Cool.
So Aaron, moving on to you. So, when you looked at this card and you saw the early finishes, were you like, yes, I am definitely doing this, or were you conflicted about a few things with it? There were
No,
several lines you could have went for here.
no. I saw the 3 early finish lines that I did, and I just went for it. I didn't really look too hard for any Seaside or Metro finishes. All of
Interesting.
those lines didn't really look too good to me.
Now, I understand why you picked this route. It definitely, you know, sits with your strong suit, with your technical routing aspect. You were able to utilize 2 moons from Hint Art pretty well.
Yeah.
And also, just in general, you know, just have a 1 moon loss finish. That's definitely nice. Kind of sucks you got collected, but hey, shit happens.
Yeah, really unfortunate that I
Yeah.
just probably stopped holding wide or whatever.
Oh, I thought I was definitely getting klepted as well. I definitely thought I entered the hitbox there whenever I was going for the what do you call it, propeller pillar secret.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just doing old Klepto skip, but I lost my cap bounce when I was trying to get to the cage. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, I landed on the
got
platform
bonked.
instead of dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking about that incident, Cheese, I actually learned that you don't get klepto triggered there, because I thought for sure you were going to get kleptoed.
Oh no, that's in the all-mins route. That purple's routing is in all-mins.
Right, but like that particular section underneath the pole.
Oh yeah. I thought I was getting klepted too whenever I went underneath the pole. I guess I was probably like a couple pixels above the hitbox, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I got very lucky.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
So-
I got very lucky. If I cap bounced maybe a frame or two later, it was probably over.
Oh, wow.
From there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it might just be because I had a lot of time to look at this board, but I would have done both diagonals in C3. I don't know if I would have initially done this if I was playing the card. I likely would have also picked some kind of early finish. I probably would have done C3.
I don't know where you get
Well,
6
no.
moon shards from. I don't know where you get 6 moon shards from. I think that's part of my issue.
Oh, yeah, that might be part of it. Yeah, 6
Yeah.
moon charges it was all of them for my route.
Yeah, that's definitely a tricky goal to do sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just don't have enough bingo knowledge, I guess. I'll probably enter the next tourney again.
Right.
I had fun.
Hey.
I had fun with it.
And I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, that's part of it. Like, you could run all these categories, but you don't really know how to apply it to bingo. It doesn't exactly work out,
Yeah,
does it?
yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, to get better at bingo, you just play more bingo.
Yeah, that is how it
Yeah,
goes. And route more.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I learned that my favorite type of bingo is lockout. That's what I learned.
Oh, alright.
Yes, it's
All right,
is
well,
the best.
alrighty. Well, then you'll definitely enjoy the next round, which is a short lockout. Round
Well-
3 is.
Well, I
short.
believe he does need to
Oh,
win a
short
losers
lockout.
match first in normal triple.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, is there a
Oh,
losers
that's
bracket in
true.
this? I wasn't even aware.
Yeah, there is. It's double elimination, but the losers round 2 is also normal triple.
Right. So all right. So this whole tournament is a mixed format tourney. This is the first of its kind. So round
Yeah.
1 was short single. Round 2 is normal triple. Round 3 is short lockout. Round 4 is anti-triple. And then, of course, the semis and finals will just be normal triple again.
Oh, so all the other bingo tourneys have been like just one type of bingo all the way through?
Yeah, most of
Yep.
them have just been normal
Yeah.
triple.
I thought there've been like a ton of tourneys too. I'm surprised this is the first time this has been done.
Right. So
It's interesting.
Right, so like in terms of smaller tourneys, I mean like Arrow Razor did host a short lockout tourney, but there were only like 8 of us. And while it was a fun tourney, it definitely
yeah.
didn't fully showcase the potential that is short lockout. So I'm definitely excited to see round 3 specifically. I think short lockout is going to be
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, it
for a
should be
lot of
pretty
people.
interesting.
So,
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
so
should.
I have a quick question about the tourney, real quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I win my losers bracket, am I back in it then?
Yeah.
you're
Stay
still in the
yeah,
you're still in the
yeah.
losers bracket, but you're not out.
Yeah. Because the winner of the entire losers bracket will come back for
Okay.
the grand final, I believe.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
that is correct. And then you have to
Okay.
beat the grand finalists twice because they haven't lost yet.
Yeah. Imagine that. That
Yeah.
just sucks. You're like, yes, I've done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, good
Well,
luck
I
with
have to,
that.
I know
beat them
I'm-
again now.
Yeah, I know I'm not
Which does-
winning. I know I'm not winning this tourney because BP's
I mean,
in this.
yeah, that's fair.
Aw. Unless a surprise defeat occurs. What if that? You don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean,
BP's
that would be shocking.
BP's like the Tyrone of all the longer categories. It feels like.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely
yeah.
does seem that way. All right. Well, again, GG's to both of you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
GG.
I didn't
So
have
I know-
much
So,
faith
Agron,
going
you
in.
still have some questions for me, right?
Oh, sorry.
No, I actually think I shot all of them.
Oh, all right.
Nah, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, well, GG's, Aaron. I didn't expect to win against you with how little time I had to prep.
Yeah, that's fair. GG's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just. It seems like my biggest flaw is I'm just bad at picking lines. That's like
Yeah,
the
you,
main-
yeah, you definitely could improve on that.
Yeah.
Like these lines were not the greatest, gonna be honest.
No, yeah, for
But
sure.
hey,
That's
you can
definitely a big
improve.
part of it. If you don't have good lines moving forward, it doesn't matter how good at the game you are. It's just not going to end well.
It's just not gonna work.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that in mind, make sure you follow Speed Gaming. Follow
Yeah, thank you, Speed
Follow
Gaming,
you
for
or Kai.
hosting this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
And there will be more triple bingo action throughout the week. And stay tuned for future rounds.
Yes, stay tuned.
I've
Yep.
been Awesome Agron. And wait, did Kai leave?
Nah. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I was kind of waiting for you to do your outro as well, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So thanks to Speed Gaming for letting us host this.
Yeah. All right.
We appreciate it a lot. So, see ya.
Cool. Scuffed outro. Bye, guys.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.